Inside 190 miles to go and NASCAR's longest race, the Coca Cola 600. Glad you're spending your Memorial Day weekend with us here on Fox. Kyle Busch trying to win his third race of the year. Green flag pit stops. Let's check with Matt Yoakum.
David Reagan is in, Chris. Right side tires on. No adjustments except a small piece of tape on the grill as the temperatures continue to come down, Steve.
Matt Dale Earnhardt Jr. says, I don't want to get tightened up. Don't make any changes. Steve Letarte agrees. A windshield tear off 4 tires and he's done. Krista.
Kyle Busch saying he's getting a little tight in the center, a little loose, leaving. He needs rear grip. He told crew chief Dave Rogers, do whatever you have to do to make it faster. Matt?
And the 48 of Jimmy Johnson in. They've been trying to make some headway. The car was a little more on the free side that run, Dick.
Denny Hamlin on pit road right now. He is still complaining about the engine in that car, despite the fact that he has been running in the top 5 virtually all night.
Matt Kenseth, the leader. Tony Stewart now second. Carl Edwards. Allmendinger. As things shuffle around, as pit road is a busy place. Edwards is in. Kurt Busch, Greg Biffle, Kevin Harvick. Steve?
Carl Edwards took 2 tires on lap 233, Mike. Windshield tear off. This time they will go 4 tires. They're also going to make a chassis adjustment. Carl Edwards said, don't tighten me up too much. And they cleaned the grill.
Kurt Busch on the right side of your screen has overcome all sorts of adversity tonight, and he too has worked himself in the top 10.
Now, if these green flag stops, Marcus Ambrose in the 9 car was the first one to hit pit road, Matt.
And Matt Kenseth already is Larry Mack, and basically his biggest issue, something they really can't fix. He was stuck back in traffic, got arrow tight. Dick.
A.J. Allmendinger on pit road. He has complained bitterly about the behavior of his car since the last pit stop. Tight, tight, too tight, and he couldn't pass cars. They're going to fix that now.
That leaves 6 cars on the racetrack that have not been to pit road in the last 38 laps. Take one of those off the board. Second place, Casey Kane.
Yeah, you know, these guys are talking about back in traffic. It's hard to pass. Being out front is a big advantage.
Steve.
This has been a great track for Casey Kane, but not tonight, Mike. 4 tires on this stop for Casey Kane. They've been chasing this racetrack. They've been loose. They've been tight. Just haven't really gotten a handle on it.
And then there were 5. Montoya has not pitted. Here he comes. He'll give up the lead to put his Chevy on pit road, and that will leave Jeff Gordon, Mark Martin, Joey Logano, and David Gilliland out on the racetrack. Steve?
Juan Pablo Montoya is going to get 4 tires this time, Mike. They're also going to make an air pressure adjustment because Juan Pablo is loose getting in the corners and tight in the center. So again, 4 tires and an air pressure adjustment for the 42 and Juan Pablo Montoya.
Now, Mike, those 4 drivers you talked about, which didn't include Jeff Gordon, we've got a caution, so it'll pay off for those drivers that had not pitted. They had pitted on the last caution.
What a topsy-turvy race. Caution.
Something happened down in turn 3, Mike. I saw, I think it was a 34 car go into turn 3, like dropped oil fluid on the track or something.
And that would have been David Gilliland, who was one of those cars that had not stopped, along with Jeff Gordon, Mark Martin, and Joey Logano. Now this will pin a lot of cars from Carl Edwards down, 1 lap down. Edwards will get the free pass, but our pole sitter Keselowski is down a lap, and so are many other contenders.
And Mike, those drivers like Gordon, Martin, and Logano, they took the wave around on the 6th caution at lap 233. Then they came back to pit road on the next caution because they were at the back of the lead lap drivers.
And Joey Logano's had the free pass twice tonight, and here he finds himself in 3rd. How about that?
Hey, it's a long race.
118 laps to go.
She ebbs and she flows.
Yeah, it's still at least at minimum, a 2 pit stop race.
Oh, yeah.
Larry, if you were just on pit road in the last 5 or 6 laps, what do you do?
Oh, I think you stay out right here. There is no question.
Now, the cars that had not pitted, 3 of them come to pit road, and Gilliland. So all 4 will pit now. Jeff Gordon, Mark Martin, Joey Logano, and David Gilliland, along with others. Cristo waiting on Jeff Gordon.
And Jeff Gordon is nearly running out of fuel. He was supposed to be on pit road when that caution came out, but they said, give me one more lap. There was some sort of piece of metal, something that couldn't get him to pit road. He almost ran out of fuel. Right now he says he's tight behind cars, but otherwise, I'm good.
27 lead lap cars, including those that are right behind the pace car in front of Kyle Busch.
It was a perfect world for those three drivers right there. Yeah, they were losing a lot of time to those new tires, but that caution coming out paid off perfectly.
And then we saw Tony Stewart try to do this thing earlier. Matt, what we got?
Well, the 48 was going to hit pit road. Chad Canals called him in, said what adjustment they were going to make, and he was still in the fuel conservation mode, had the 88 in front, and he missed the entrance pit road, so he will have to go back around.
Why he has his gloves off, so he better be pulling them up over his elbows about now.
117 laps to go in Charlotte in the Coca Cola 600 on Fox.
The Coca Cola 600 on Fox is sponsored by Coca Cola. Open a Coke and enjoy the race.
Coca Cola thanks NASCAR Nation for 125 great years.
You see the 13 drivers taking the wave around from our aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Everything we've learned making tires for the proving grounds of NASCAR inspires what they roll into yours. Goodyear, more driven. There's the field at turn 3. With 115 laps to go, they'll get the restart this time by 13 wave around cars. Carl Edwards the free pass. Kyle Busch the race leader. His hobby is winning races in NASCAR's undercard, the Truck Series, Nationwide Series. Opposite Marcus Ambrose, whose hobby is panning for gold. I don't mean trophies. He actually goes out in North Carolina, where gold was first discovered in the United States, goes in the creeks and pans for it and gets some.
I think he was doing it on Greg Biffle's property till Greg finally ran him off.
Till Greg found out.
No,
with permission.
Greg wanted part of it.
There we go. Kyle Busch jumps on it, gets a good restart. David Reagan doesn't go, and Denny Hamlin almost got to the inside quarter of David Reagan.
Whoa.
A lot of close contact there.
June.
Earnhardt to the inside.
That
the
might
88
have been big there.
That was almost bad for Hamlin and Junior and a whole bunch of folks.
Let's let this shake out, and we'll show it to you again. 6 cars break away. Still a lot of jostling for Mark Martin in the 5 on back.
Oh.
Martin and Gilliland got together.
Goodness.
And Martin came down right in front of Stenhouse. Labonte goes to the outside of Martin.
Mark Martin is getting bounced around like a ping pong ball.
We're about ready to write down caution flag number 9 there.
And oh, by the way, Ricky Stenhouse in that 21 car, first Cup start, running in the 12th position.
Wow.
Up there on the lead lap.
He's done a really, really nice job. I'm very impressed.
Logano side by side with Gilliland, and then Mark Martin right alongside Brian Vickers in the 83. Car hit the wall. David Starr off turn 4 in the 95. And the caution waves.
Killed that.
Yeah. Pit road, but let them look at it. Nah, they just take it to the garage. It's killed. I could see it.
We got a lot to look at while this caution's out, guys, because that restart was crazy.
Here's the restart. Watch what happens from the 6 car on back on the inside.
6 car doesn't go. Hamlin tries to look under him. Here comes Dale Jr. Hamlin says, oops, I didn't know you were there.
And the 5 Martin backs into Logano just a bit.
Yeah, Logano gets into Mark. Then Mark comes off at turn 4. Gets hit again, or he hits someone.
Gets into Gilliland.
Then he gets pushed down.
Gets into Stenhouse.
He was just trying to get out of the way.
He looked like, and then right here he gets it again. I mean, he looked like a ping pong ball in there bouncing around.
Now here's why the caution's out. David Starr, veteran of the Truck Series, in the 95.
I think.
Oh boy.
Might have been a tad of contact there, boys.
Casey Kane in the 4.
And Starr starting his very first Sprint Cup race up and into the wall.
And he was doing a nice job. You know why? because I don't know that we've said a word about him. So I think that tells you when he's in your first start and he hadn't been talked about much, but that's unfortunate for that team.
Yeah, when he qualified for this race the other night, I've not seen a lot of victory lane celebrations quite that ecstatic.
He was a happy camper. So many times those kind of accidents, so, you know, Star didn't go. Casey thought he was going to go. He didn't go. You touch him, and around he goes.
So Casey Kane stays in the race while his teammate, Brian Vickers, gets the free pass. And we'll be back on the lead lap. There'll be pit stops under this caution. We'll give you a recap when we come back.